What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my PrizePicks Breakdown for UFC 291. We have Dustin Poirier going against Justin Gaethje.
I need all the wins, yeah. Harder than all that is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
And we are back for another PrizePicks Breakdown. This week, we are breaking down the slate for UFC 291, a card that is absolutely stacked from top to bottom. We have 12 fights to work with. Decent amount of things sticking out on PrizePicks, I'd say. I think I have either 9 or 10 plays that I'm going to give you guys this week. Last week, we went 8 for 10, 80%. Pretty good. It was almost 9 for 10. The Muniz, Craig, the less on the fight time was very close to hitting, but it is what it is. Let's see if we can have another pretty good week this week. So before we get started, if you guys can please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. It is always much appreciated. And be sure to check out PrizePicks if you have not already and use that promo code DFSBTN for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. It helps me out. It helps you out. And let's see if we can keep killing the PrizePicks this week. So I say we get right into it, guys. We're going to start with the significant strikes, and the first one that I'm going to go to is right here, the first one on the board, and it's going to be Miranda Maverick, and we're going to take the less here on the significant strikes. So it just makes a lot of sense. Like, Miranda Maverick, what is her game plan going to be? The game plan is going to be getting this fight down to the mat very early and very often. I mean, she's not going to want to strike with Priscilla Cachoeira. If she does that, I mean, she probably gets knocked out. But no, I expect Maverick to know that she has a massive advantage on the mat. Priscilla Cachoeira, what does she struggle with? The takedown defense, the get-up game is non-existent. The ground game in general is just non-existent. So I think it could be a situation where Maverick does get this fight down to the mat, potentially submit Cachoeira in the first round. If Cachoeira survives, it gets to the second, Maverick takes her down, and if she hasn't submitted her already, I think she probably subs her in the second round. So I think Maverick does finish this fight at some point, and I think it's due to the wrestling, the grappling. She's a big favorite for a reason. Is it hard to trust Maverick as this big of a favorite? Yes, but she just has such a clear path to victory that I think she does win this fight. And like I said, if she doesn't take that path to victory, she probably gets knocked out. So either way, I think this less on the significant strikes makes a lot of sense to kick off the card for us here. Moving on, we are going to scroll all the way down here, and we are going to go with the Dustin Poirier, and we're going to take the more on the significant strikes. So I feel like this hits in like the second round, and I know a lot of people are on the over 2.5 rounds, which I think it goes over 2.5 rounds, but like ever so slightly. Like I think this fight ends like late third, maybe early fourth round here. And if this fight gets to the third round, I mean, this more is going to hit. The only reason that this more would not hit if this fight does end within the first or second round here. But yeah, I mean, Dustin Poirier, his volume's just crazy. I mean, this guy's landing almost 6 significant strikes per minute. This fight is going to take place in the grappling probably for 0 seconds of this fight. Maybe Poirier shoots a takedown here or there, probably later in the fight, if anything, but I think primarily this fight is going to take place striking. I think these guys are going to hit each other in the face a ton. I think these guys are going to kick each other's legs a ton, to the body a ton. I think these guys are going to go to war here, and I think if this fight does get extended over 1.5 to that third round, I mean, I think this hits pretty easily here. So outside of like an early finish, which could happen, sure, but I'm not really expecting an early finish, and most people aren't. I think this more hits, and I think it hits probably late second round for us. Moving on to the takedowns. So yeah, nothing last week stuck out for the takedowns. This week, there are some tricky ones, I'd say. The first one I'm going to give is going to be the DeLima less on takedowns 1.5, and here's why. I feel like it's a situation where I don't think he needs to go for takedowns here. Obviously, if he wants to, he can. So I think he probably knocks out Derek Lewis here. I think the leg kicks are going to be a big problem for Derek Lewis in this matchup. And I think that, if DeLima does take him down once, I think that probably could be the fight. I think DeLima probably could sub him there, but I'm expecting these guys to stand and bang, and I'm expecting DeLima probably to knock out Lewis. Obviously, Lewis could knock out DeLima as well, but I'm kind of more so of the opinion of Derek Lewis at this point of his career just really can't take a shot. I mean, his durability's always been in question, but especially now, Derek Lewis has been finished 9 times, 7 by knockout. So yeah, I think De Lima kicks his legs off and probably finishes him in the first round. I think this less on the takedowns makes a lot of sense. I don't love the Blachowicz one because I could see Blachowicz taking down Pereira and like that being the fight, to be honest. But I could also see him maybe getting a couple takedowns throughout the fight. I guess this one's interesting to me. The more on Dustin Poirier takedowns. So the only reason I don't hate, it's just one takedown he needs. I don't think there's going to be really any wrestling early on, like I said when we talked about the significant strikes. But once this fight does get into that 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, we saw Dustin Poirier shoot, I think, like 4 or 5 takedowns in their first fight. And Dustin actually got him down in one of the rounds, but Justin did pop up so quickly that they didn't even count it as a takedown. So it would not shock me if at some point Dustin Poirier did shoot in for a takedown and he got that takedown. So this is one I don't love, but I mean, all he needs is one and he has 25 minutes to do it. So I think it's very much on the table. But yeah, not one I'm extremely confident in. I like the De Lima one a little bit more. Moving on, we have our fantasy score here. And we are going to go with Marcus Rogerio de Lima. And yeah, this got smashed since I did my notes here. My goodness. But I still like it here. So I had it at like 81.5. My gosh. Now 87. And here's why. Give me the more, and here's why. Let's go to the scoring chart here. And let's go down to fight conclusion bonuses. And let's look at that first round here. 100 points. I mean, I think it's first round. Marcus Rogerio de Lima has a ton of finishes in the first round. Derek Lewis' last 5 out of 6 wins, or 5 out of 6 fights have finished under 1.5 rounds. I think this does finish under 1.5, and if it does, I think De Lima, hits that more pretty easily with a first round finish, and probably, like I said, due to some leg kicks, and I think he gets Lewis out of there. So yeah, I think with a first round finish here, 100 points, easy enough. So give me the more on De Lima fantasy score. And then another one, this one hasn't moved. I'm going to take Matt Simmelsberger with the more on this one. So I think he does finish this fight as well. Does he finish it in the first round? I think he could, for real. I really do. But if he does not finish in the first, I think he probably finishes it in the second. I think he has some takedown upside here. I think he can land some volume. And as long as he finishes this fight in the first, second, even third round, I think he probably pays off this 90.5. It's a pretty big score, I'd say, but I don't know. I mean, I think he could pay this off pretty easily. So give me the more on the fantasy score. I think it's probably a first or second round knock, and if he does get that, I think it's enough to cover this 90.5 there. So those were the two that were sticking out. Even like the Matthews, I don't love. Bonfim, I don't love. I hate the Holland one. Yeah, not much else is sticking out down here. All right. And then finally, we will go to the fight time. And typically, there's a lot of things sticking out for fight time. And last week, I think I had like 5, and I went 4 for 5. The one that didn't hit was the freaking Craig Muniz fight, which was close to hitting. But I have 3 here. The first one is going to be the Maverick, less on the fight time. So I think you got a striker versus grappler matchup. I think on the feet, Cachoeira can knock out pretty much anybody in the division. And she could probably knock out Miranda Maverick here. I know Maverick's never been knocked out, but she's never fought somebody that hits as hard on the feet like Priscilla Cachoeira. On the flip side, obviously, Maverick is going to have just a significant grappling advantage to the point where she can get on top, she can get into a dominant position, and can finish the fight. So I think this fight does go less than 12.5 minutes. This one probably moved. It didn't move. Interesting. Jake Matthews, fight time, less. Give me it. Going against Darius Flowers, a guy that typically has about 5-6 minutes of cardio, but he's coming in here on short notice. He's coming in here on elevation, so I expect that 5-6 minutes of cardio to turn into probably 3-4. I think Darius Flowers is going to have honestly a solid opportunity to finish Jake Matthews in that first 5 minutes. If not, I think he's probably done. Matthews gets the fight down to the mat and subs him in that second round. So I like the fight time here, and I like it quite a bit. I don't think this fight sees the third. And then finally, last one, we will go to, hopefully this one didn't change on me. Yeah, it didn't. Okay. Marcos Rogerio de Lima. I'm gonna take the less on the fight time. It's only 4.75, but I really do think this fight finishes early. I think these guys are going to get after it. I think De Lima is going to kick Derek Lewis's legs so hard. I think Derek Lewis is going to be forced to get into a firefight, and we've seen that has been to his detriment. But Lewis does have power. I think one of these guys are getting knocked out before this fight hits the second round. If this fight hits the second round, it probably goes the full 15. So give me that less on the fight time. There you have it, guys. Yeah, decent amount of stuff sticking out. Let's see, 1, 2, 5, 7, 9 plays. 9 plays I gave out. Hopefully we can go 8 for 9. The one I didn't feel amazing about was the Poirier over takedown, or higher than takedowns, 0.5, but I think it's something that's on the table. So hopefully we can have another good week. Really looking forward to the card. Smash the like button for me if you guys could. Subscribe to the channel if you guys could. And then be sure to check out PrizePicks. Don't forget to use that promo code DFSBTN. Get yourself a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Best of luck for UFC 291. We'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.